something a little different today. This is a Civic Type R and FL5. He has a whole bunch of bolt-ons. We'll pull it in and I'll show you what he has. He came all the way from Orlando. So the fact he came from Orlando to make it here at 9 o'clock, that means he got up in the middle of the night. So we thank you for that. Let's get it in. We'll show you what he's got. We've got a full exhaust here. We've got Cusco bars. We've got an intake. We've got intake related parts, risers, intake, intercooler, and charge pipes. We'll show you each piece. All nice pieces to install. This stuff is always really good. We'll put a bunch of PRL intercoolers on, and their stuff is just not just nice quality, it fits, which from an install purpose sounds silly, but so many aftermarket parts are just off a little bit. You've got to wrestle with them to get them to install. This stuff fits absolutely perfect. Got enough balloons around your... What is all this about?
You know, they last for quite a while.
What does that even
still
mean?
Celebrating. It's
Why did you get
April.
those? This is pretty cool. So this is actually a funny story. He bought our letters and first complained. He said the letters don't look very good, and then he realized that they actually have a cover in. There's two sides of it. One sticks to the MotoCompacto, the other one has a cover in to protect the finish. It's also when they're cutting it, they're lasered so it doesn't damage the finish. So it's actually pretty cool. He went back and forth and he said, hey, sorry, it was me. This is what the letters look like, just in case you receive these and you're doubtful also. These are definitely the nicest letters on the market. There's a few places that sell a sticker. These are actually laser cut. They're like a plastic vinyl, but this is the coating right here that has this on there. That is the 3M tape that sticks to your MotoCompacto. This is a protecting cover so it doesn't damage the finish while it's being cut. You see that? These are obviously the purple ones. So if you run into this, just so you don't have the problem that guy has, that's why we have this on. It's part of when it gets cut, and also it's for packing. When we send these to you, we don't want those letters to get scratched. We want them to be perfect condition when you get them. But this is his MotoCompacto. It looks really cool. And this right here, Esther said, hey, what did you do about the seat? And he used, what was it, Krylon?
Duplicolor vinyl paint.
That is really cool. And these are VMX grips.
Yeah, they cut to fit. It looks really neat.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool thing.
That's the.
And then it's just the vinyl dot in the middle for the Japanese flag.
Yeah.
you saw the video on our Civic Type R, I do still have a few parts that I'm going to sell. If you're interested in these, hit me up. I have some H&R springs for the Civic Type R, less than 300 miles, and these were one of the more conservative drops and a really nice ride. Very, very similar to stock ride. In fact, I couldn't tell the difference. I also have some Mita FLK forged wheels in championship white. These were ceramic coated from the day I bought them, and I did purchase NSX Type R caps. So the caps fit perfect to have the Honda H in there, and the match perfectly. And the tire, same thing, 300 miles. If this is something you're interested in, hit me up. I also have the lip. I'll include the video at the end in the description so you can see the unboxing of the wheels. Super nice wheels, the same wheels that I have on our S2000. What do we got, Esther?
We got some of these. How about that?
That is nice.
Is this in the store yet?
No, it's not.
That looks very familiar. I've seen that somewhere before.
That's pretty cool. Black with that silver.
As my dad would say, I know you. I've seen you before.
This is a small.
That is a small. So
Is
if
it?
you're a small,
So we have smalls available too.
We have smalls.
I wonder where people could get these.
They
I have
can
no
they can
clue.
fit your 10-year-olds, your younger kids.
Yeah.
or if you're small yourself, it'll fit you.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
If you're just a small person.
So we have small,
Yep.
we have large.
Yeah.
We have medium.
Oh, there's mediums too.
There's
Wow,
medium.
we have everything. Check them out, LHTperformance.com. By the time you see this video, we'll have them in the store. You can get that.
Here's some medium.
This is my car, by the way. Obviously, my car isn't silver, but the outlines of it, if you look at that, look how cool that looks when you see it.
Are those Mita wheels?
That is awesome.
Is that a CR kit too?
That
That
is
is cool.
exactly
with
my
a
car.
little with a little
Check 'em out.
support.
LHTperformance.com. No, it's got a light now. We have an S2000 here that looks pretty much stock, but it's not. If you haven't seen this before, if you might have felt like you've seen this somewhere before, this was the kit that we built for our S2000. We were using it to do some testing to possibly build it in production, but production cost was going to be way too much, so it kind of got axed. Well, we sold it to this gentleman right here, and it's been on the car for about a year, I think. We're doing a subframe change on this, steering angle sensor, a few of the bits and pieces we'll show you along the way. This is the subframe right here. He's got an entire front subframe that we're going to install and keep the best parts from his and use the best parts from that. Also doing a 3-inch into dual 2.5-inch exhaust. There's a subframe that came off. It has the spoon spacers. We're going to see if we can reuse these. Sometimes they will come off, sometimes they won't. This is the new one getting ready to go back in. He has the rack bushings too, which we're just pulling these out, doing all the dirty work first before we start putting cool stuff back in. These are the spoon ones in the bags. These obviously are like a rubber cushion. These make a huge difference. Definitely more precise feel from the steering wheel. Got something a little different here in the shop. If you had heard of these guys before, it's the first time we're trying it, just because everybody else is so expensive and I keep seeing everyone using these. A lot of people talking good about them, so we're gonna give it a shot. We got well, we just found this grill is all bashed in and it's not inside the box, so it's
well, there's
broken.
also nothing wrong with the box, and it had these wood panels front to back, so
Yeah,
we
it
would have
was
had
sitting.
to smash through this wood panel.
It was sitting in that foam, and then there was a foam piece on top.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it got dropped on the way in.
Yeah, I think it happened.
Well, they're not in the box, so the problem is they're inside there, and they could end up hitting that fan. So I think we're gonna have to pull this panel off. The back just removes with basic screws, and we've got all the plastic pieces. We're basically counting them to see how many we need to put back in there. I don't know if it's gonna go back together or not.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to come with a puzzle.
No, I didn't. No, I thought it was like just put a plug on it and then start working. So I went through all of the steps to hook it up. This is going to be to start it and set the machine up. But put the plug on. Everything is good. Let's go ahead and switch it on. Let's get some gas first. Nothing.
You gotta plug it in.
Oh, it's not plugged in. All right, let's try that again. I think I've done this before.
Got a bunch of lights on it.
Wow, it does have a bunch of lights. Wow. So we really need the fan going right away? Alright, so I don't know what any of this stuff does. We're gonna have to learn this machine. Alright, so that is easy DC. Basically our high is 90. We've got different programs. It's I guess once you look at this. Okay, after fooling around with this thing for what feels like hours, maybe it's an hour. So it tells you in the manual, and even saw somewhere online, George found, it tells you to switch these around, which just, whether it's wired in the machine wrong, but this is negative, and it tells you to put the torch on negative and positive, basically give it a try. And yeah, that worked, because it was acting all kinds of goofy. That was a little spot. Let's try it on stainless. We spent most of our time playing with aluminum, and once we played with the settings, there's somewhere on here it just wouldn't weld like there. It's acting like we don't know how to weld, and all of a sudden we change the leads and it starts welding. We kept playing with all these different settings up here. We've set basically two memories right now. We have memory 1 and memory 2 for stainless and aluminum, because we've got to get back to work. We can't spend our whole day playing with this thing, but so far that just seems bizarre to me. That's not full of catalogs, is it?
You don't even know what it is, and that's a funny joke.
Uline tend to give us a catalog the size of a phone book every day.
Every time. It's really bad for the trees. Sorry, Uline. I love you.
Well, they probably don't use trees. There's the catalog.
There it is.
We just got one yesterday too.
We just got one in the mail.
Oh, the one that we got in the mail was bigger than that one.
It was massive.
It was twice as thick as that. It's like a phone book.
Yeah, that's not very something.
No, this is the skin. This is just the daily pamphlet.
No, but we did get a lot of these.
Oh, this is just a little guy?
We like these. You're going to get those in your package.
Yeah, I still like those.
I like those.
One of those really bins that actually
Here it is. Ready? Ready? Ready?
A cat calendar.
That's right up George's alley.
A cat astrophy. It's just for you. I mean, I know
Nice.
it's April and all, but
Yeah, but it's 18 months.
it was free, and I was like, it was either this or a really lame like cup that had a donkey on it that was for
I'd love
political. It was political.
I'd love a political
You know
donkey
what
cup.
I mean? I'm not gonna like
We already
say
have a
obviously
donkey
we
cup.
know.
Donkey cups are great.
But I thought, you know what, George? You need this in your life.
Yeah.
And
sure.
it's more than half a year left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still getting plenty, you know,
Yeah.
4
Oh, is
months
that why
go.
it's free? Because it's like already started?
No, they're free anyway. It would have been free if I got it at the beginning of the year.
This is just the dedicated box catalog, and it's that thick.
That's only boxes?
Just boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nothing on this one.
Yeah, this is just boxes. Boxes, boxes, boxes. Look at them in the background. Thousands of the damn things.
I like the griddle though.
I'm only going to spend $1,000.
You can buy the griddle for $230, but it's free with 5,000. If you want just the tool set, that's $70, but it's free with 1,000.
Yeah. We only have a few bags left. I think we have 2 of the storage bags, and I think 4 of the document bags left. And once they're done, they're done. We're not carrying these anymore. Unfortunately, the profit margins are tough on us by the time we buy and sell them and pay the credit card fee and store them. For the amount of room these take up and the fact we have so many options, they're just not cost effective for us. So it's unfortunate. I'm sorry. I wish I could sell you this stuff, but you know, when we're making 6% product or 6% profit on an $80 product, it just doesn't work. Show the exhaust here in a minute. Right now the ceramic coating is underway. It's here for a top. This top is I think 7 years old, so this is a 2000. Yep, so we're doing the Robbins top with the conversion, so it has a glass back window. This has a glass back window, but the car originally had a plastic. So we're going to change this and do all the modifications it requires to make that new top happen. These are 2 more tops for an upcoming job. This is the one for this car. As you see, 2000 to 2001 black glassback window. That means it's designed to fit that car. So many people ask us about these trim tools, so we now have them in the store because we use them so much for doing interior work. This is one of my favorites right here, as well as this guy right here. Check them out, they're in the LHT store. All right, so the fabric is removed. All of the rivets are drilled out. We're gonna be cleaning this up before we put it back together. So there's gonna be a new elastic here. The top comes with a new piece to join these two bars together, and then it attaches back to this point right here. Let's open the top and let's make sure all of those parts are in there. So it's a good idea to inspect the drain and clean if necessary. This is it right here. If you look directly under this joint, that is it right there. Can't really get the angle in there, but that's where it would have trash and leaves. It's always good to clear that out and then run a little bit of water in there. Make sure it drains like it should. Sound clip time. I'll let George do the honors. Not to mention, it's probably the only one that fits in that seat. It's pretty quiet. Let's bring it up to temperature and then we'll rev it a little bit, but take a minute to warm up. It's pretty mellow. It's not boomy at all, is it? That top sure looks good. Really nice, rich black. It doesn't have that gray look like the factory one. I gotta like that about this top. We've got to let this sit for a couple of weeks in the sun, and that should free up because that top is really tight. But you know what? It looks so good when they're tight. Yeah, it looks nice. So we did get the window with the heated rear glass just in case he adds that as a kit. I think it was only a couple of bucks more and I just opted for that. That way he's got options. If not, it's fine. Not many people use that rear defroster. All right, let's get a sound clip. Just gonna do a medium throttle run. That sounds pretty mellow. So that is a 3-inch into dual 2.5s. That is a bird up in the tree somewhere. Tweety bird. Yeah, that sounds good. And that's the mill amp. Sounds good.
What's it like out here?
It's pretty quiet.
All I hear is the turbo.
Yeah, it's pretty darn quiet.
Yeah.
A lot quieter than I thought it would be. Nice. I think he's going to be happy with that. It's got a very stock, stealthy look. We did ceramic coated black mufflers, left the tips polished. They're a slash cut tip. It's just got that nice mellow look about him. Kind of got the stockish look. Nice. 400 horsepower. Sounds like stock. Huge thank you to our friend Philip. He made this for us. This is something we can include in our packages or in our videos. In fact, go ahead and use your phone and click on that. Tell me what you find. Each one of these has to be installed. This is the foam that attaches to the brace, and it has 3M tape on each one, which is sometimes tricky to get off. It's very sticky, but I'm gonna make about 50 of these and put them in the store. Each one gets a foam and a stainless screw and a stainless washer. So once we have our brace with the foam and the washer and a screw in there, each one of these, we go ahead and wrap it in some tissue paper. We take our bracket. This is the foam bracket. This gets put here. We put the whole thing in a bag. And then we have a Ziploc bag. Puts the whole thing together. And then that is the phone holder bracket right there. That's one ready to go. So we offer it in this style, the bracket, and then of course the bracket with the phone holder. Just as an update, we do have more braces coming in soon. We're just waiting for a few parts to be done. We have plenty more of the S2000 oil filter wrenches, the cap wrench, the regular Civic wrench, and of course the cap wrench for the Civic Type R and the Integra Type S, and the throttle body spacers. Let me show you those here in a minute. I just showed you the bags. These, obviously, we're buying from Uline, so they have like 3 or 4 different grades of bags. And as silly as it sounds, obviously as a business, you're always trying to find a way to save money. Well, when it comes to bags, I don't buy the cheap ones. We get the second most expensive just because they're the thickest. And it's for a few reasons. One, it protects our product. And 2, when we're using this and you open this, it doesn't just immediately tear. And we tried that. In fact, what's funny is Uline, when you buy, say, 500 bags, they put them in their cheapest bag, which it's hard to really see. But this one is half the thickness of this. And sometimes when you pull this apart, you've probably dealt with the freezer bags where you open them and it tears. Well, this will sometimes tear on the seam. It doesn't take much to rip. Of course, it won't do it now, left-handed where I'm showing you it. Or this comes off, and it just aggravates me. And plus, when I sell you a product, if you get a bag that's a decent bag, you might use it again. You might use it to put little bolts in when you're working on your next project. So you're recycling, right? So I'm doing my part for the environment. These, wait till you see these. We're currently out of stock when you see this video of the master cylinder braces. These are the new billet ones, and they are absolutely beautiful. You didn't think they could get any nicer. Well, they are. These are absolutely beautiful. They look like jewelry. The finish on them is so nice. And guess what? We're gonna drop the price because we saved a little bit of money on manufacturing. That's why you can't have an open container.
What's up, cuz? I see where it moves on, so you're straight.
I'm probably gonna break it, just so you know. This is what happens.
No, you're not gonna break it. It's fine.
Yes! It lifted. This one is getting a brake package as well as powder coated red calipers. This is going to look quite a bit different than you see it right now. Somebody has slotted rotors on there that are backwards. They're backwards on the front. I think they're the right way around on the back, if I remember. Yeah, the back is correct. Almost all rotor manufacturers have a big sticker on their box as well as the rotor. They put a sticker on it so you can't mess it up. But most of the ones I've seen, it leads with the outside. That's the correct direction. So that is backwards. So I think he has new wheels for this coming, which will definitely make a difference, because these are not my favorite wheel, but they're just a little bit rough. Obviously they're scraped and the coating is missing, so that will make a big difference. But wait while you see what it looks like behind the wheel when it's done. Yeah.
They'd switch off. They both broke.
Look at that for a difference. That looks beautiful. So as you see, the veins are going from the inside, outside, almost like they're facing forward. That's the way they should be. And like I said, they have them marked on the box on the rotor. But there we go. It's all new, completely refreshed, new fluid. It's fully bled. We're gonna road test it. Now we can call him and he's ready to go. We'll get some pictures of it outside so you can see the wheel behind, or the brake behind the wheel, so you can see what it looks like. This is one of our Miller Dynasty machines. I have 2 of these and a MIG. So when I first came to the US, I used Lincoln, and then when I started the company, I bought a Miller. Basically just because I liked the color. I know it sounds stupid. I used to use welders in college. English welders were different, and it just kind of drew me to it, as goofy as that sounds. But I've had Millers for the last 25 years. Well, the Dynasties have been crapping out. One of them crapped out. This one still works, but the other one started crapping out. I had it fixed, and they charged me an insane amount of money. If you guys fix these things, maybe this makes sense to you. The guy said there's like 3 boards in this. One of them is like a power supply board. One is like a motherboard, and one does something else. And they're about $2,000 a board, and the last time I had it fixed, it cost me $4,000. And a new machine is like 7. And I can't do that. You got to think of right now to check for $7,000 and then start welding and divide that up and see if that pays for the machine. We're not like full-time production welders, so I can't justify that. Hence why I decided to give the Everlast machine a try after talking to a couple of people about it. Now we've used the Everlast machine for about a week. I am super impressed with it. We did talk to Everlast. They're sending us a cover. It should be any day now. I basically gave them the serial number and showed them it, and they were like, no problem, we'll get a new one out to you. So customer service already is great. The fact that they'll sell you parts or mill you parts or warranty the parts, as opposed to, hey, take it to your nearest Miller dealer and pay out the wazoo. Because we're mechanical, we can take these things apart. We just need the parts. This is actually pretty useful once you get the hang of it. It is somewhat self-explanatory. It's a different menu system to the Miller, but it's like anything, once you learn it, it's not that big of a deal. But honestly, I'm so impressed with this. I think I'm gonna buy another one, because when that other Miller starts acting up, the cost of a new one of these is less than the cost to repair the Miller. And I'm a big fan of trying to keep money in the US, but I'm also a big fan of keeping the money in my pocket. This is a Bellhausen. Customer just brought us over, somehow installing it that broke off this ear. So we're gonna go ahead, weld that back on. There we go, welded it inside and did a double pass on the outside just to add a little bit more strength to it. So there we go, we can call him. Hopefully that got him out of a jam. Thanks for watching. Check out the store. We have phone holders back in stock. The cup holders are going to be ready any day now. By the time you see this video, they will be up and running. We sold the last master cylinder brace. We're just waiting for the new ones to come back from Laser, and there is a slightly new design. And then the new design of the strip bar friendly. This is the 3D prototype to verify everything fits. You guys are going to be excited about that new one. I can't wait to show you. We have the S2000 oil filter tools, the S2000 oil cap tools, the Honda cap tools, the Honda oil filter tools, which are these right here. Put that tape on there. This is great for the Civic Type R and the Integra Type S, so you don't scratch your cover and you can tighten the oil cap. And also these are back in the store. These are in the store too. S2000 rear bumper support. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Don't forget, enjoy your cars and pick up one of the new LHT shirts.